It means that everything that we ever become at some point is the subject of our minds. He made an example using Anini and the rest, and I went to read on them after listening to the sermon. And you would see their motivation and their drive. They wanted to kill. The one that was Derico, I heard he killed up to 100 people in his regime and up to 25 policemen. I said, wow. They were motivated. Before he became the greatest thief, he thought about it. We cannot become what we never thought about ourselves. Bishop also said, you can never incubate into reality what you haven't imagined. That's the same thing. And then in the part 2, he said, to every miracle dimension, there is the human dimension. And then he made an example when they needed Jesus to raise Lazarus from the dead. When Jesus was going to raise Lazarus from the dead, he told them to roll away the stone. The question now is, are we willing to roll away the stone? Or is what we want just prayer? Prayer works. But there is also the law of diligence. Proverbs says, seest thou a man diligent in his business, he will stand before kings and not before mean men. An unbeliever might not have Christ, but he will apply the law of diligence and he will succeed. Then we will not be the ones crying, God, we worship you, we serve you, we do this, we do that, and nothing is showing. The devices of the devil. God's grand scheme in the affairs of man is for kingdom advancement. But a man can choose not to partner with God. In Deuteronomy 30 verse 19, he says, I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. It is you that will choose. But who will live? You and your seed. Every decision has its consequence. What we see as results are only consequences of decisions that we make. Your being to church today is a decision. The healing or the answer to your prayer that you get, maybe during the word or prayer or worship, is a result or a consequence of that decision. Before you can now call it a result. We must make a decision to pay the price for this metamorphosis. Champions, we must make a decision to be transformed. What is the difference between two brothers born under the same circumstances? But why one succeeds, the other one fails? God-sized problem. Because it only takes God to solve a God-sized problem. Counter the devil. If I keep telling myself that I am disadvantaged, I will forever remain disadvantaged. The problem of a believer is not necessarily what he possesses, but what he knows. So in John chapter 8, verse 32, Jesus speaking says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. It is the truth that you know, not the truth that is written. So, having different books, having different Coursera, Udemy certificates, it doesn't change anything. What do you know about those things? How have you applied them? A change of location is not transformation. So living in Nigeria is not necessarily the solution to our problems. Because you can't show the mindset. Sorry, for those that live in Ocean, I'm sorry. Lot and his family were delivered out of Sodom. But the same mindset of Sodom and Gomorrah still followed them to the mountain. So the iniquity they left was what his daughters went to commit with him on the mountain. Romans 12 verse 2 says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and the perfect will of God. So there is a price to pay for my transformation, which is a subscription to a plan that renews my mind. It is a subscription to a plan that fortifies my mind. Because he did not say, but be ye transformed when you renew your mind. Or go and renew. He said, renewing, it is continuous. It is a subscription. Monthly. For me, it is daily or hourly. Brothers and sisters, seated where we are is the destiny of thousands tied to us. There are people in destiny that are helplessly dependent on our transformation. We must make a stand that we will break the status quo. Lord, I know that nobody might have done this in my family. I know that people my age may struggle with this thing, but I am ready to partner with the Holy Spirit. That is the prayer that we must make. Parents, we must insist that our children sustain superior belief system that will withstand any wiles of the devil. There are too many demonic propagandas and agendas in our world today. We must insist that they sustain the champion's mentality, like Bishop will call it. Champions in the house, and I'm not just referring to the youth. We must reject the theory that seems as though we reach a particular extent in destiny and then we plateau. There is no zenith for a believer. 1 Corinthians 8 verse 2 says, if any man think he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing yet as he ought to. So there is always more. There is always more. I saw a video, during the attempted 15 days hunger protest. And there was this man, he was complaining. I think the journalist seemed to be reporting from what looked like Oshodi. He said he had come from Mautu or Festac, and that he was there because he could not, his son, who was 13 years old, was already programming and developing into him, but that he, the father, could not provide proper tuition or even mobile data for his son, so that he has come out, so that his son's destiny will not go to waste, because he, the father, his own destiny might have finished. And while I empathize with the man, sincerely, I ask myself one question. At what age does a man's destiny end? Which agency approves the expiry date of my future? Is it NAFDAC? No. And I understand. Sometimes weariness overwhelms a man and he doesn't know what to do again. But that is even a